I want to talk to you about a show, question mark, that I know that you watch on YouTube.
Oh, dear.
Hot Ones.
Oh, my God. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm very familiar.
Okay, for those of you who are not familiar, Hot Ones is a YouTube show.
A talk show.
A YouTube show where the host invites celebrities on and they eat hot wings.
That get progressively spicy.
Correct. Yeah, they have the Scoville meter of how hot and spicy these wings are. And anyway, and both the host and the guest are both eating the same wings. Okay. And so there are some celebrities who just flying colors do great. And there are some that just devolve into madness.
Yeah.
And I want to know
where I'd fall.
Where you think you would fall.
Listen, I've thought about this before.
Yeah.
I am okay with spicy foods, but it's so embarrassing if you don't eat them all.
Right.
And I'm I almost feel like you wouldn't be able to feel them after a certain amount of time.
Right.
It would just all start to feel like one.
Agreed.
So I think I could finish it. I don't, it'd be more the aftermath we'd have to worry about. I think I would be just so unwell. Your stomach just has, no matter how well you can handle spice, that just has to just be, ugh.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm of course, if I was just eating hot wings, how hot would I get my wings? Never as hot as these wings go.
No.
And they have one hot sauce. It's called Da Bomb.
And from what I gather, it's just actually disgusting. That's I think what's funny is it doesn't even really have any flavor. Everybody's it just tastes really gross. It's just
and
so
it's
hot.
The third to last one, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, I agree. So I'm would I just black out and just keep eating wings?
I just when the people do get a little delusional and just start laughing uncontrollably because they just.
Well, of course, my favorite, and just because he's my favorite, is Conan O'Brien, who then truly did dissolve just into absolute madness.
Absolute madness.
And I am I think you just have to remove yourself from your body.
Yeah.
And again, you're answering questions then about.
Very serious questions about your career.
Yeah, and then the host, which I'm okay, Sean is just seemingly unaffected.
I could talk about Sean and his interview style and delivery for a year. First of all, he loves saying their name. He says their full name all the time.
Maybe that's his coping mechanism.
It must be. It's something, because he's always every question, he'd be all right, Emma Fraser. I'm right here with you, Emma. I'm right here with you, Emma. Emma, you and I are in this together. You and I are in this. And he's always, my husband says I do a really good impression of him, but he'll ask you a question. Well, okay, first of all, he'll start with a really long statement about your life.
He's I noticed on your Instagram in 2018 that you posted that you love hot pretzels but not with hot mustard, but with sweet mustard. And you're okay.
So this is how that would go on Hot Ones. So I was looking back in your Instagram, and you seem to have a lot of pictures of hot pretzels. And I noticed that you don't really put hot mustard on them, but more sweet mustard. Now, have you noticed the industry change since you started not putting hot mustard and started putting sweet mustard on it? And did you notice how that's affected how you approach your work?
I wish that people could see Catherine's hands.
He does a lot of this building move with his hands that I'm doing right now, but that no one can see. But if you go watch this, he does a hand stack movement a ton, and a lot of just rolling his hands. He's very specific.
Wow, that was if you have not seen the show, that was a very good impression. And then imagine again, you're eating the hottest hot wings you've ever had, and you're how's the industry changed? Because I post about sweet mustard and not hot.
I'm telling you, he's. I mean, he also does ask those people genuinely very good questions.
Yes.
So I do like to see what he's asking these people.
People are always who is your research team?
Yeah.
How did this happen? But the least interesting thing about that is the questions is just who yeah, how would you fare? And again, I'm like, all my gravitas, I'd be like, yeah, I would make it to the end. I don't know, but I agree with you. I think you do hit a certain point where it's like, am I adding more spice or am I just like living through the spice that I have already ingested?
Yeah. I think it also depends, like, because I remember I feel like been episodes where people are like, it's not even that the spice, like, I'm just getting full because I'm eating 10 chicken wings and I don't normally like eat. Well, they're also celebrities, so they're like, I don't really usually eat 10 chicken wings.
I'm putting eat in like big air quotes. They take a bite. Most of them
take
like a bite.
Some of them will
eat them all.
I just watched one with Ben Stiller, and he legitimately would like ate
like to
all
the bone?
of them. Yeah.
Okay, well that's the other thing. Some people, so of course, because everyone it's Hollywood.
So many people don't even eat wings. It's like cauliflower.
Yes, or like tofu
or
like
what's that? Seitan.
Yeah, and it's like on like a stick. It looks like a lollipop.
It looks really unappetizing.
Yeah, I'm like every time I see those, I'm like, ooh. And then the host will eat whatever they're eating.
Yes, and he drinks whatever they're drinking too. So if they ask for like a certain type of milk, he gets the same thing as them, which I respect. Why more people don't have beer with them? Because beer and wings is a god tier combo, but also like maybe that's just because every Thursday we used to go to a place for beer and wings, but so that's what I would want.
Yeah. My other like hot take with all of this is I know that I would eat boneless chicken wings with their just chicken nuggets.
That's fine. You wouldn't be the first person.
I know that, but people have very strong opinions about boneless wings.
I mean, they are nuggets,
which is fine.
But like sometimes that's what you want.
They're good,
but they're tossed in sauce.
They're good.
It's fine.
Also, I'm like, I don't want to eat around a bone, and then you get like a little cartilage piece, and then it's
okay. But if you are eating bone in, if you're eating traditional wings, do you like a flat or a drummy?
I don't want to eat either.
Well,
I think the correct answer is flat. I don't know.
I like a drummy.
Yeah.
I like that I can hold it with one hand easily, and like there's not a crazy bone, like two bones with like meat in the middle that I have to like try to get out. I like that a drummy that I don't have to work that hard for it.
Yeah. That was like one of the first, like I'm using a big air quotes, but like fight that Brandon and I had was that I don't like bone in wings.
They're so good. I love wings personally, but
yeah, I mean
to go on Hot Ones. I mean, listen, if you're listening and want us on there, we can do a collab.
Oh my God, MCC and Hot Ones.
Or
shout out.
Honestly, here's the pitch right now, and we know a culinary.
Oh my God.
If you are.
Oh my God. If we ever go
if you are interested in getting into the hot sauce game and need to do a crossover.
Oh my God.
Where you do a Hot Ones and we're on there and we ask you, Brian O'Malley, some questions. The gauntlet is thrown
Brian O'Malley,
now.
We know you're listening.
We know because we're going to email you this episode.
Oh my God, our first like video episode will be us just eating hot wings.
Just sweating and accidentally touching our eyes.
That is, I will say Sean is very good about warning people about touching their eyes.
Careful around your eyes.
Yeah.
Careful around your eyes, Emma Fraser. All right, Emma Fraser.
I don't like you saying my name like that.
That's how he does it. It's so unsettling. And then he shakes the last dab and everybody goes, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, have you never watched this show?
Well, that's how you know who's watched it and who hasn't.
Oh my God. Yeah. And then there are some people who go really hard on that too.
Yeah.
Oof, how much extra are you putting on your last one?
A dab. That's the name.
Mm-hmm.
I would pour some on the board and like dip it. I think that's
a little dab will do you.
That's why it's the phrase that it is. So.
A little dab will do you.
A little dab will do you.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, bring them in. And by that I mean cut this.
We've seen enough.
We've seen enough.
Speaking of guests, today on the podcast we have Jordan and Patrick from the MCC Foundation. They're here to chat with us about what the foundation does and how people can get involved. Welcome, Jordan. Welcome.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Absolutely thrilled to be here.
Well, it is the end of the year, the holiday season, so we thought it was a good time to talk to the foundation about what the foundation does at the college, how people can get involved with the foundation, and all of that. So do you guys kind of want to give us an overview of what you do for the foundation?
Yeah, absolutely. So the foundation was established in 1977 as a separate, not-for-profit, IRS-approved 501c3 corporation, and the purpose of the foundation is to advance the work of MCC, essentially. So advance the college's mission.
Yeah, definitely. And you'll see this in pretty much every public university, public college, that there will be some sort of charitable philanthropic wing, often that will be referred to as a foundation, that's able to address some of the costs that, can't be covered through just tuition and public funds alone. A lot of times that looks like scholarship, new equipment, new buildings, special funds for programs, or other ways of supporting students.
So I know that the foundation obviously does a lot of scholarships. I assume that's the bulk of what you guys do. But I also know that there are other outreach things that you do for students. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Well, I would say, like you said, that scholarships are a big thing. Some people establish scholarships themselves. We have donors who establish scholarships. We also have an MCC General Scholarship Fund that can help students for a multitude of things. So books, class expenses, just a lot of different stuff like that. As for work we do with students, Patrick, do you want to?
Just riffing off the comment about scholarships, I believe there are 192 different scholarship funds available.
Whoa.
I know.
I believe
as Jordan was saying, sometimes donors will set up specific ones. Oftentimes people will establish a scholarship in honor of a loved one, perhaps a parent or an aunt who has passed, and they want to do something in their name, possibly in their area of interest. So that's definitely where a lot of the scholarships come from. As far as other work around students go, we do have our Student Food Insecurity Fund. So some of the initiatives that we're working on right now with that is we do have this salad program that's been a collaboration between the foundation, but also horticulture and the freight farm, culinary, and then
Central Stores as well, student wellness.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I guess for those who don't know, what is this salad initiative?
Yeah.
So I guess it was created through a brainstorming session with all the different departments that we had mentioned previously. And it was becoming apparent that a lot of students at MCC, they took a survey and they were going to school hungry. They weren't sure where they were going to find dinner. So we all collaborated together and we created the salad program, which Student Wellness distributes the salads to the 3 main campuses throughout the quarters. And yeah.
Is it every day or just certain days?
It's just certain days. So they go to a different, I'm not exactly sure which campus they go to on which day, but they, FOC's one day, SOC's another day, and then Elkhorn is I think it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Does that sound right?
That sounds right. And typically, they are giving out 85 salads per week.
Wow.
To those students. So it does have a large reach in terms of supporting those students, but also certainly working with our TRIO program, 180 WRAP, in other ways of supporting students. And then in addition to that, as new things, big things need to be built, I was just over in the Automotive Training Center yesterday, and that was built definitely through help from our foundation, working with other foundations around the area. They've got a lovely donor wall up there that includes, I believe it was 10 names, 8 foundations, 1 anonymous, and then Baxter Auto, all who contributed heavily to that building, and similar to some of the bigger new buildings that were established on Fort a while back.
Yeah, there's always a need for funds. And MCC is always growing.
Agreed.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So it's
And that's why, yeah.
Yeah.
We're constantly trying to keep up with the needs of not only just the community, but statewide, and then what the industry standards are. And that takes money.
And
Because it's always changing.
True, exactly. The needs of the students are evolving, and I think the Student Food Insecurity Fund and the Salad Program Initiative were a good example of that, of us, a bunch of departments collaborating together to evolve to what the student needs. So it was super cool to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, that is fun. one more thing about the student
Food Insecurity Fund, yeah.
Well,
and
the salad program
is a part of the Student Food Insecurity Fund, but yeah.
Another fun thing about that is that the lettuce, the salad that they use, is grown in a freight farm.
Yes.
Which is so interesting. It's like, if you don't know what a freight farm is, it's vertical growing. So it's a freight container that they've retrofitted to do vertical growing of all of this produce. And I won't try to tell you what the numbers of that are because I would get them wrong unless you guys know. But the amount of produce that can come out of that freight farm is
shocking.
Incredible.
Like more than you'd think.
Yes. No, and if we didn't shout out the freight farm, like, yes, they're the whole basis of, they're the ones who are growing the lettuce. So yeah, we got to tour the freight farm and see how they grow the lettuce. And it's kind of beyond me how they do it, but we have a video. We produced a video. We worked with Nate and IDS, where we are actually, that can explain more if people want more specifics about that.
Yeah, shout out Nate.
Shout out to Nate. Hi, Nate.
Nate and Matt.
And Matt.
Yes.
Shout out to Matt, too.
And Matt. Hi, Matt.
But yeah, no, freight farms are incredible. And the amount of water that they use is, everything about that is very interesting.
Yes. So because it's the holiday season, you guys just had 12 days of alumni. So do you want to kind of explain maybe like how that works, how you chose those people, kind of how that all went this year?
Absolutely. So shout out Emma, actually. Emma collaborated with the MCC Foundation on this project.
Hi,
Emma and the
Emma.
marketing team, Paige as well. So the idea for 12 Days of Alumni kind of came as I was searching CASE, which is a website. It's a membership website that focuses on fundraising, particularly for college foundations. And another, I think it was a college or a university, they kind of had they had that idea of highlighting alumni during the holiday season, business owners, particularly business owners or those who are affiliated with the business. And I mean, I was well aware that so many MCC alumni are affiliated with awesome businesses in the community or they own them. So I felt it was definitely a project that we could take on here. So with the selection process, the first year we kind of highly focused on culinary just because Brian O'Malley has such good relationships with people in the restaurant industry. So we wanted to start slow and make sure that something like this could work before we go asking all over town. But for next year, we're already looking for different fields that we can target when we do 12 Days of Alumni next year. But Brian and his team gave me some names. I think it was Emma, who works on the culinary team. She was the one who specifically sent me the names of alumni who she knew would be interested or had expressed interest in doing the 12 Days of Alumni social media campaign. So I contacted them and asked if they would be interested in sending over some information, some background about just kind of their journey from MCC to where they are now, and a professional headshot. And I inquired if they would be willing to do some type of discount or promotion to promote the spirit of giving during the holiday season.
We love that.
Yes, and basically, like, I think every single one, like, it was not an issue. I pulled some others from ideas from my team because I think we were missing only a couple, but it was not hard to get to 12. So I think that just like shows how amazing our alumni are. Like they,
like they want to stay in contact and they want to stay involved with their alma mater, which I think is very cool.
Yes. So if you haven't looked, I mean, we're just finishing up, unfortunately, but some of the promotions go through the end of the month. One in particular, Nibs Chocolate, Lindy. So you can order online from her, or Sarah from Slattery Vintage Estates. Hers goes till the end of January. It's a 2-for-1 wine. But if you haven't looked, go check out the MCC Friends and Alumni social media. It's kind of hard to explain over talking. I feel like a visual would be better. So
yeah, no, it was a really fun project. It's always, it's like, I love cone flour,
yes,
ice cream. I guess if I had done a little bit more research, I might have known that she is an alum of MCC, but it's like, oh, well, that's fun.
It's so fun. It's like such a surprise to see who's an alum. Sometimes, like a good
Right,
surprise.
right.
You're like, oh, them too.
Yeah, it is like, it makes the world seem small in a good way of just like, oh, like all of these people, all these businesses that I already love to go to or have a connection here and love it just as much as we do, which is always nice to hear.
Yes, no, exactly how I feel. Good way of putting it.
Yeah.
And really, one thing that is cool and exciting about working in the foundation is being that kind of externally focused, which also you in marketing can understand this, so I don't have to tell you, but getting to kind of be that hype person for the college. I've joked a number of times that Midwestern humility is kind of alive and well here in the Omaha region. But somebody needs to be bragging about the cool things going on with our alumni, our faculty programs on campus. So if they don't want to brag about themselves, we'll brag for them.
Yeah. Everybody needs a hype man somewhere.
Definitely, yes, one of the best parts of the job because it's just showing the world like it's like these are our alumni and look what they're doing like in our community right here.
Yes, and it's easy because they're doing really cool, impressive stuff.
It's not been hard. It's not.
It writes itself half the time, so that's also very cool.
Yeah. The other fun thing about fans or the Friends and Alumni Network is that you don't have to be an alumni to be a part of that.
Correct.
You can be a friend of the college.
It's like we got some friends here, I think.
Yes, friend. Friend of the pod, friend of the college,
Yes.
One and the same.
all of the same. But if other people are interested in what MCC has going on, whether that's individually or as a business, you can get connected through the foundation and become a fan of MCC. And then you get kind of an in on the news. You get our community newsletter magazine that goes out every quarter that has incredible stories, a lot of alumni featured in that. So there's a lot of good things to do and know about if you follow and are part of the fans network.
Yes. Anybody can opt into our communications, so be added to our mailing list, or if you even just want to follow along on social media. I mean, a lot of what I email out to our fans, I do post on social media as well. So, but yes, it's open to anybody who wants to know what's happening, what's in the know at MCC, like join the Friends and Alumni Network.
Come on in.
Yeah.
The water's fine.
Yeah.
So the other fun thing that you guys worked on this year is the 50th anniversary.
I thought you might ask about that.
I mean,
All year long.
I think it probably took up a good chunk
Yours too.
of your life.
I was about to say of everybody's.
That's another great collaborative foundation marketing project. The 50th anniversary.
I think
fundraiser.
almost every department collaborated on that in some
Absolutely.
way.
I was like, yes, I'm definitely. It was a huge collaboration of the whole college for sure. What I think of when I think of 50th anniversary, maybe it's because I worked on it the most, was the fundraiser, the 50th anniversary gala. I should say not fundraiser. It was. I don't even know how the idea came about. I think it was emerging leaders. They had they came up with the idea of having like a big gala for the 50th anniversary, and the foundation and marketing team and events, we all came together and made it happen. I primarily worked in getting the auction items together, and
which is a task.
Yes, it was a task. It was. I don't even remember how many auction items we even secured at this point. It was definitely at least 100, I want to say. Yeah. And I worked on. This was fun. I don't even know how I came up with this idea, but student experiences, we had them throughout the gala. So I worked with a poetry instructor and people's names, the poetry department and their program. Names are escaping me right now, but photography, the photography program, and a lot of different students and instructors, and we basically highlighted what our students can do, and they provided experiences, like they showed the video of the balloon, the NASA balloon, as we talked about, and they did tintype photo booth. It was the MCC tintype the photography club, and they do the tintype photo booth. And they took photos of people there, and then some poetry students had poems printed out, and they gave you your own like unique poem. So that was fun.
That's,
that's
so
exciting.
fun. Yeah, that's fun.
So those were kind of how I contributed mainly. But it was a whole collaboration of everyone.
Yeah, that was
I mean, you guys had plenty to do.
go through all those archives and just seeing all the things that the college has been able to accomplish over 50 years is really incredible.
Oh, I forgot about the archives. You're bringing back memories for me. I spent some time, for the 50th anniversary at the archives.
I spent
wonderful.
so much
Yes.
time. Shout out to Colin in the
Yes, I was gonna
archives.
say, like,
Hi, Colin.
Yes, I had a few. I have some hours with Colin under my belt in the archives, going through the photos. Yes, that was fun. We also showcased those at. So the foundation does retiree gatherings for MCC retirees
Yes,
3
that's
times
right.
a year in the fall, summer, and spring. And the first one that I worked on, we put up the old photos that we got from the archives, and we had the retirees identify people in the photos. So that was super fun.
That's fun.
Oh, that's really interesting. I
Yes,
like that a lot.
it was Kay. I think it was Kay Frieson's idea.
Oh, I'm sure. Shout out
I just
Kay.
helped
Hi,
execute.
Kay.
Yes.
Lots of shout outs
This
today.
episode is called Shout
I
Outs.
was like, I like to give credit where it's due. That's why I was.
No, that's a good thing.
That's why I was kicking myself in the butt when I was bringing up the student experience. This was like, oh, I should have had their names written down. Oh shoot, but
Yes.
We'll do an addendum and name them at the end.
yes,
That sounds perfect.
Yes. But yeah, there's so many things that have been accomplished over the last 50 years. And I just know that there's so much more that the college has planned for the next 50, I'm
Yes.
sure. And a huge part of that is the work that you guys do at the foundation to help make all of that happen. I mean, yes, there's tons of other people who have ideas and try to get all of that going, but the grants and all of those things that you guys work on every day is, we could not do it without
we
you.
appreciate you guys too. But thank you, and yeah.
Speaking of shout outs, and you just said grants, so I do want to shout out our colleagues who work directly on the grants team. So that's Terry and Casey and Derek and Rachel, and just quick shout out to them as well.
Shout outs. Welcome
Yes.
back to Shout Outs.
All shout outs all the time.
It's like they put in a lot of work. Like we're just the talking heads. So
Listen, that's my bread and butter.
Yes.
yes. It's like that's why you guys have a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Just
We
let me
are
talk
quite
about it.
literally talking heads.
Yes, but going back to the 50th anniversary for a second, all the proceeds raised during the 50th anniversary gala went towards an endowment that will continue to grow. And like you said, for the next 50 years, I mean, it'll continue growing longer than that for as long as MCC is around. But
Forever.
yes, forever. Yes. I think it'll be around forever.
Yeah.
Me
Yes.
too.
It'll last longer than humanity.
Yeah. It'll still be here.
Yes, I'm glad we were able to establish that, so we can continue to support the college.
Yeah. And, again, with the 50th and all the things we have looking forward to, and then, again, the holiday season, the giving season, if there's people who are like, this is my time, I love to give during the holidays, how would somebody get in touch with you guys if they wanted to donate to the foundation?
Yeah. And what ways can they give?
Yeah, so there are a wide variety of ways people can donate. First and foremost, donating money to the foundation, either as a one-time contribution, maybe recurring donations if you want to set up, hit my credit card for $5 a month or something like that. But one thing, as we alluded to earlier with scholarships, there really are hundreds of funds that people can give to, both within scholarships, other student support, program growth funds. So if there's something that you're particularly passionate about, you can give there. I do think it's important to note that donor dollars go directly to that fund. As we are adjacent to a college, we're not living in some of those worlds that a lot of our other nonprofit friends might be, where a fair amount of donor dollars have to go back into administrative costs. So all donated funds go directly where you want them to be going, which is exciting. But you said more specifically how, not what or where. So I'll answer the
Just gotta
question
give-
you actually asked.
Gotta give the disclaimer,
It's all good.
Yeah, no, you
we
go
got
off.
the info.
Yeah.
Perfect. Easiest way would be to visit our website. So you can go to www.2.
Yes.
MCCNEB.edu.
/foundation.
/foundation.
Or you could search for us at the top. We're there, but
Or you can press, I believe there's a button that says give.
oh yes,
There is now.
there is
Yes.
now. Yes, new.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
website updates.
Yes, we're in the process of updating our website. So if you have a hard time navigating the website, you can always give us a call and we can help you out because we are in the process of updating our website.
If your difficulty was a hard time navigating that, I think 3 of us co-said the address. That was www.2.mccneb.edu/foundation.
Yes.
That'll get you there.
Yes. Or if you're internal, you can always look at our Unity page. That works too.
Yes, I
Or
was going
email
to
us,
ask.
Gotta give the Unity girl her shout out.
shout out.
More shout outs. So it's like,
We've been waiting for this. Welcome back to shout outs.
yeah.
But I was going to ask about that for employee giving too.
Yeah, so we're actually we're just about to finish the employee campaign on December 23rd. And so there's still time for you to give. We have so like Patrick said, all giving goes 100% towards your intended fund. And you give to the, when you give through the employee campaign, you donate through the same funds that you donate through externally, if that makes sense. So there's no differences there. But yeah, the employee kickoffs were so much fun. Like Patrick said, we went to 6 campuses. And I mean, we love getting to know the people at MCC. I mean, and I think that's great being in a position like working at the foundation because you really get to know people at MCC. So.
It's fun to work in departments where you get to be able to see all of those campuses.
Yeah.
It is fun. And it's also nice to know that, the people that work here love it enough to donate back to it. Because, it doesn't take you very long of working here to see all the cool things that are going on and wanting to be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And what your donation can go toward and see it in real time is very cool.
Yes, I mean, yes, it helps the students. And so it's, like you said, like it's right in front of you. So that's awesome.
And that's why we're all here. So,
And one more plug kind of about the 50th/foundation is the other way you could help support is we have these coffee table books
Oh, yes.
about the 50th anniversary. So if you are a history buff and love to know about all things MCC, for the past 50 years, we have these coffee table books, which I will put a link in the description for those. But those are very interesting, a fun read. They look beautiful. They look really nice.
Yes. A lot of work went into those. So.
yes, a lot of work.
Yes.
Yes, they're super cool. I'm glad we did those. So it's really unique,
Yeah, it is. And I think again, even if you haven't worked here, if you're a member of the community and have been for a long time, it's just interesting to see how everything has changed. Even looking at the old campuses and how things have, again, just changed over the last 50 years.
The growth is crazy. Like it really is.
Yes, and you might see pictures of Mike Flush in there.
Running? No, but...
Unfortunately, no running pics. So I was like, but...
No, there was never any photos of him running in those inside stories. Just...
Well, we'll have to get some pictures for the 100th anniversary coffee table book.
Oh, my God. We'll start working on that now.
Yeah, seriously. We'll get ahead of it.
We have definitely been trying to focus on the programs and giving them their alumni and their faculty experiences to connect. We previously had an event with the automotive alumni and faculty. It was kind of like an informal tour, and we had the alumni. 3 alumni brought their cars inside to the showroom, which was pretty cool. So it was like a mini car show with food. And we just gave the alumni opportunities to connect with their fellow alumni and catch up with their faculty and staff here. And overall, it was just like a really great event and giving them that chance that hasn't been really available yet thus far. We also, this summer, this wasn't as program specific, but we had a volleyball tournament, and I need players for this next year. So if you're listening, please, if you're like
volleyball, right?
It was sand
sand
volleyball.
volleyball.
Yes. It was very hot. It was kind of a last minute idea. Me and some of our team members were sitting and at graduation actually, and we were like, what'd be really fun? A sand volleyball event. And it's like graduation is today. It's currently
we were
a little behind on planning, but somehow we made it work like only 2 months later. So that's not horrible.
Yeah.
And it was a faculty and staff versus alumni.
funny.
I was rooting for the alumni to win, but the faculty and staff won this year. But we'll see about next year. So that was pretty fun. But also Weed on Patrick, I'm blanking.
Yeah, definitely. So, Jordan, as you said, well, let's take an extra step back. So I would say that this alumni engagement is kind of a reinvigorated effort for the foundation over the past year and a half. I joined over the summer, so it predates me a little bit, but we've been really diving in on how do we encourage these alumni to come back to campus, continue to engage with faculty, current students. So we're balancing some of those. As Jordan said, some things will be like the volleyball tournament where it's open to all alumni, and we're going to try and do more that are specific to each different program that'll tie directly into their interests. But we've also been working with y'all over in marketing of there are certain community events where we want an MCC presence. So we're reaching out to alumni to see if I know there was a handful of alumni
There was
that
the
just
Veterans
joined
Day
us for the
Parade.
Veterans Day Parade.
Yes,
last
I was there
month.
too. It was cold, but we showed up. I was like, yes, it was good attendance.
It's a chilly
yes.
walk in November.
Yes. But like Patrick said, like our main goal is to keep our alumni connected to MCC and bring them back. So it's been fun brainstorming different ways how to do that as we build the Friends and Alumni Network. Some are fun, some are more serious. It just depends. Also, 12 Days of Alumni was, that's like a brainchild from trying to grow the Friends and Alumni Network, the social media, and hitting those touch points that we're kind of working on creating, like as we go,
Yeah, I think that getting the alumni more involved and connected with each other, again, makes Omaha and just Nebraska a small world in a good way. And I think that anyone who is an alumni or a friend of MCC should join the fans network because you just you connect with a bunch of people, you can give back to the college, and we're all about lifelong learners. So
Yes.
even if you
Absolutely.
don't, if you aren't here for a degree, if you need a micro credential, if you just want to take a cooking class, there's all sorts of things to do. And we love, like with the 12 Days of Alumni, we love shouting out our alumni and all the cool things that they're doing. In Community Magazine, we do Faces of
Yes,
MCC
absolutely.
to highlight our alumni and the things that they're doing. And again, those aren't people that necessarily own businesses. Some of them do, but a lot of them are just people who have come here and started their careers after getting a degree here and in really fun and interesting ways.
Yes.
Well said, Emma. Well said.
Thanks.
Yes. Even if you're a current student, like thinking to the future, I've had current students reach out and maybe have wanted to be connected to somebody in the field that they want to go in. Just providing those opportunities for connection is what it's all about,
Yeah. And same with businesses too.
Yes.
We have a lot of business partners across the area, and they are also one of the main reasons that we are successful, and they are here to help our students as much as they can.
Yeah, I think Patrick can go a little bit into the business connections.
Absolutely.
His time to shine.
No, it's really astounding and incredibly impressive to me just how many people we have tied in at a program by program level. And I'm not even saying AFA, I'm saying down to each individual
Like niche program.
niche program. Like, I don't know if literally every associates would have them, but like within an area of things has their own advisory board with people in the area who are able to come back. I was sitting in on one. I don't know if they'd want me sharing names, so I'll leave it vague. But was sitting.
The anti-shout out.
Oh, well, I don't.
Right.
Some things have to remain
who you
secrets.
are.
Yeah.
You know who you are.
Anon, please.
We know
Yeah,
you're listening. I was like,
You never know who wants things. Yeah, that was.
We're razzing. You go right
Oh, I
ahead.
know you are. I was trying to come up with a clever razz back, and it just didn't come to me. So then I was stalling awkwardly, and I still am. But anyway, I was sitting in on an advisory board meeting recently, and just the extent to which people in industry out in this area are willing to talk with our instructors and really dive into specifics on credit hours, on curriculum, on which specific areas should be emphasized right now really astounds me.
531 MCC 2400.
They'll take it from there.
Yeah, they'll direct you where you need to be. Shout out to the contact center.
Shout
Absolutely.
out. We got to finish it with a shout out.
we just have like a whole list, and we're like, shout out every single person at MCC.
Did we get all of our shout outs in? Shout out to shout outs.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for coming by and kind of explaining what you do and what the foundation does. This has been very interesting.
Yes,
Absolutely.
so fun.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, no, thank you.
Yes, we'll have you back sometime.
Yes, we would love that. This was fun.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
MCC Made with Emma Frazier, Catherine Riggs, and Tim Clark. Produced by Emma Frazier. Executive produced by Nanette Rodriguez. Production support by Herdat. Got a question for us? Email mccmade@mccneb.edu, and your question may be answered on a future podcast.